Today we're going to be changing quadratic equations from intercept form to standard form and from vertex form to standard form. So let's start with intercept form to standard form. So the first step we want to do is to go ahead and do the FOIL, multiply the binomials. So to do that, we're going to go ahead and distribute the x's. X times x is x squared. X times -5 is -5x. Then we're going to do the other piece here. I have 6 times x is positive 6x, and 6 times 5 is -30. So that's our first step. And combine like terms. Here the like terms are. So then I have x squared plus 1x minus 30. The second step is to go ahead and distribute the a value. So we're going to bring this 3, which is the a value, all the way down here to the front and distribute that. 3 times x squared is 3x squared. 3 times 1x is positive 3x. And 3 times -30 is -90. And then we go ahead and put the y equals in front. And there is our standard form of the quadratic. It started with intercept form and ended with standard form. Let's go ahead and try the second example. Same steps. We're going to FOIL first, then we're going to distribute the a value. So our FOIL looks like this. X times x is x squared. X times 8 is positive 8x. 2 times x is positive 2x. 2 times 8 is positive 16. Then we combine the like terms in the middle, and we get x squared plus 10x plus 16. So there's our FOIL step. Now we go ahead and bring down the a value of -3/2. And I would prefer for you to go ahead and work with this as a fraction. Please do not change it to a decimal. Let's leave it as a fraction. So we're going to distribute. So -3/2 times x squared is -3/2 x squared. -3/2 times 10x. So really, if you want to think of it like this, -3 times 10 is -30, and then divided by 2 is -15. So this is -15x. Now, if you had trouble with that, here off to the side, I'll write it again. It's -3/2 times 10 over 1, which is -30 over 2, which equals -15. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and distribute the -3/2 times 16. So you can think of it as -3 times 16, which is -48, and then divide that by 2, so that's -24. And then we put the y equals in front of it, and there is my standard form of my quadratic. Okay, let's now look at vertex form. So vertex form to standard form. Now we have the steps out here for you. The first step is to FOIL, then distribute the a value. That looks familiar. And then the last step is to add the k value at the end. But when I look at this equation, I don't see anywhere to FOIL. So I have to ask myself, well, what does this square actually mean? Well, the square means to go ahead and multiply something by itself. So the something that we're multiplying is the x minus 12 times itself is another x minus 12. That gives me now two binomials that I need to FOIL. So let's go ahead and do the FOIL step once I get that figured out. So x times x is x squared, -12x. I have a -12x. And then -12 times -12 is positive 144. And then combine like terms there. And I end up with x squared minus 24x plus 144. So there's our FOIL step. That's step 1. Now, step 2, we're going to go ahead and distribute the a values. So we bring that 1/3 all the way down, and we're going to distribute it. 1/3 times x squared is 1/3 x squared. 1/3 times negative 24, so 24 divided by 3 is negative 8x. And then 1/3 times positive 144, or 144 divided by 3 is 48. So it seems like we're done, but we can't forget that we have at plus 5 kind of tucked in up there. So that's going to come all the way down and get added at the very end. There we go. We have to add that plus 5 in. So our final answer then is, let me write it in a different color, y equals 1/3 x squared minus 8x plus 53. And that's from combining those like terms down here, those two. And that's our final answer. That's what we're looking for. Okay. And the last example, let's try this one more time just to make sure we understand how to get this to standard form. So the first thing we want to do is FOIL. So we're going to remember that that's because we have an x plus 3 times another x plus 3. So let's distribute and FOIL that. So I have x squared plus 3x plus 3x plus 9. So the middle actually becomes x squared plus 6x plus 9. Then we bring down the 5, and that gets distributed. So I have 5x squared plus 30x plus 45. And then it looks like I'm almost done, but I have that minus 8 out there that asks to also come down. And I need to combine that with that 45. So my final answer then is going to be y equals 5x squared plus 30x plus 37. And there's standard form, from vertex form to standard form. The end.